A rapper targeted in a 14-page federal indictment? How could this be?
We've been seeing P. Diddy all over the news. But why? I'm Lainey Law.
And I'm attorney Andrew Myers.
So if you're anything like me, you probably haven't thought of P. Diddy in probably like a decade. He is nowhere on my mind ever. But a few months back, I feel that I may have had a similar experience to a lot of our viewers where there was a video released of P. Diddy assaulting his ex-girlfriend Casey Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel. So it's very graphic, very horrifying to see. It's hard to even imagine that a celebrity would be doing something like that. And apparently this video was covered up. They were trying to hide it. And now recently on social media, we're hearing a lot about all these people associated with P. Diddy have been deleting their social media accounts. Why is are they being hacked? Are they trying to cover up something? And how is it that you have all these people in Hollywood working to protect this one person? Is this even possible? Is this even feasible? Does Hollywood have that much power? Well, we'll see what's going on in Hollywood right now. So we do have this document today, and we're going to do our best to keep it YouTube friendly, but there's a lot of stuff in here. Pardon my Leo.
From reading it before, making it YouTube friendly is going to be pretty difficult, because not only the conduct, the kind of the thing you were talking about before, and even worse if it could be, but the language. So both the conduct and the language, just as a little bit of an advance warning, but let's go.
Yeah, and I do want to say, definitely warning to everybody, because this is very intense stuff, and I'm here laughing at how obscene all of this is, because it's just unreal. This is I don't want to say unheard of, because unfortunately these horrible things do happen, but it's how did all of this happen in plain sight? So now we have the indictment for Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love.
Now that one I never heard. The other ones I've heard, but I never heard him called that. I mean, maybe I'm not a big fan of rap. I'll give you that at the beginning. But.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to say it's the people calling him. I don't know if we want to go there. So count one. So this is the racketeering conspiracy. We're just gonna breeze through this really quickly. So the grand jury charges for decades Sean Combs, aka all of our names that we have a nice collection of, defendant abused, threatened, and coerce women and others around him to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on employees, resources, and influence in the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice.
And that's just a summary. This is just a summary of what's to come in the following 14 pages.
It's, it's unfortunately a bad stereotype. It's just rap's all about crime and I don't even know how to say, controlled substances and all this stuff. But, to actually see this in paper and to see it's crazy, because you're looking at it, it says for decades. This isn't the one-time thing. This is something that's been going on, and today's when we're going over it. So now, what is this going on? A criminal enterprise. What's happening in this criminal enterprise? Well, today we'll be focusing on one aspect of it, which is freak offs. So what is a freak off? It's crazy to even be going through this, and now we get to see Andrew's reaction to a freak off.
Well, I'm of a different generation than you, and back in my day, a freak was there was the Mr. Freak comics, and a freak was just somebody that was a benign kind of a hippie kind of a guy that, smoked his weed and, minded his own business. This is a whole different type of a freak.
Now we're getting freaky. It's like,
and it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's like, I think of freaky like, oh, she's freaky, but it's like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. The word has a lot of different connotations, but this one is beyond anything that I really honestly had imagined.
Yeah, not a positive thing, as silly as this is. So Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of violence, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended S acts with male S workers that Combs referred to, among other things, freak-offs. So, freak-offs were elaborate and produced S performances that Combs arranged, directed, and enjoyed, often electronically recorded, which is going to be a huge part of this too, because in arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial S workers across state lines and internationally. So he is taking people from wherever to come to these crazy parties, which
bringing them in across state lines to perform, abusive acts that, just it's beyond belief. I mean, rock and roll stars have always been known to like the girls, from the beginning, but this transcends all of that. This goes way beyond any of that.
Yeah, this is not a couple of people having fun on their own
or doing consensual legal things. This goes beyond that.
This goes way beyond that.
Yeah.
Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days. That to me is unimaginable. These people, that is what money can get you, I guess. That you're doing this for multiple days is incomprehensible to me.
Think what he could have done with the millions of dollars that he had apparently from producing that, if you can call it music. I'm sorry. Think of the good that he could have done. I mean, we could have contributed the money to a million different things.
You could have gone hiking. You could have gone camping. You could have bought yourself a boat. You have to have a multi-day freak-off.
What about giving money to Habitat for Humanity or to St. Jude's Children's Hospital or any one of a number of other great causes? But no, instead he has to have these, self-indulgent kind of, sure, call me old, but he has to spend the money on his own personal gratification. And it's just, no, I'm sorry.
But that also, it kind of goes to show that, beyond the video that, some of our viewers may have previously seen of him being violent, you have to be unwell for this. This is how you want to spend the week of your life.
Yeah.
All right. So, and it often involved multiple commercial S workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and complying. So what they're saying there is controlled substances, basically to keep people acting in place. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed the victims engaging in S acts with S workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug and use.
It's bad enough he does this stuff, all right? And I think the actuality was a lot worse than these words on the page tell us. But he videoed all of this. Talk about writing your own indictment. I mean, it's a totally different type of a case, and there's really no comparison. But Sarah Bone also wrote her own indictment when she videoed after she put her boyfriend in the suitcase and left him in there, and he was begging to be let out and saying he couldn't breathe. She videoed it. So exhibit number 1 in P. Diddy's, is that what we call him, P. Diddy?
I guess.
Exhibit number 1 in P. Diddy's trial is going to be the video that he himself took of all of this stuff. I mean, come on.
And that kind of also goes to show, beyond the fact, everything in this paragraph basically tells us, I was going to say basically tells us how deranged this person is, but it can't even, imagine actually partaking in doing all of this is just to be in such a crazy state that you're doing it in the first place, But not only that, to be recording it and keeping these videos. Why are you keeping your crimes on videotape? That just shows how little that he thought that he was actually going to get caught with this.
You know, a lot of times people are very critical of, people having their iPhones all the time and all that kind of stuff. That's bad. It is bad in some senses, but in a way, there have been a lot of cases, not only the one I just mentioned before, there have been a lot of cases where stupid criminals, and there's actually a genre called stupid criminals or dumb criminals. There have been a lot of cases. I read about a bank robbery that a guy went into the bank with his iPhone on. It's like, guys, I'm glad you're doing that. If you're going to commit, first of all, don't commit a crime. But if you're going to commit a crime, definitely video it so law enforcement has Exhibit A. I mean, it's great. It's great that these guys just, I guess he's such a narcissist that he's above the law. He's above everything else. We're just little peons that make measly, money and drudge our way through our lives. But he can do all this stuff and pay for people to come in and do all these things for him. And he's above the law. He can video it and nobody's going to catch him.
And it shows to go what the money can do, because it's like the hotel video is just like they were able to keep that suppressed for so long before it came out. The whole establishment collapsed before that video even came out. So for like not even that much money, I might be misspeaking here, but I think it was like $50,000 or something, which obviously is a lot to someone like me. But like,
for him, it's like pocket change.
Exactly,
that's pocket change. Come on now, you don't have $50,000 in your purse over there,
bro. I can't even pay off the bouncer if I wanted to. These people like go to a restaurant, there's no reservations, they give the person $200, and somehow, oh my god, I can't imagine it.
Crazy.
All right, so. Going back to this, members and associates of Combs Enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies, the supplies list. It's like how we have the list of things to do for our podcast. It's just like freak-off supplies, baby oil, got it.
Let me write this down.
Let me write this down. Let's keep it.
Extra linens and lighting.
Yeah, including controlled substances. You need your substances for the freak off: the baby oil, lubricant, the linens, because they're gonna get all oiled up. I'm gonna vomit.
Please, so not here, not in the office.
It's so bad. Like, how does it get to this point? Like, so many people involved in this.
Somebody said, if you read further into this, he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Who needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil? 1,000?
Oh my god!
Bottles of baby oil? Are you kidding me?
You don't have that laying around?
No.
Well, we can all confirm that Andrew is not participating in freak offs now.
Oh my god! Please.
It's like you need the lighting. God. Oh my god! And it's like also like cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak offs to try to mitigate the room damage and mitigate the room damage. It's like you have cleaners before the hotel cleaners. What is this room damage? There's like literally a squad of people to clean up after the freak offs.
Well, I guess they didn't learn a lesson from the Doors. They would totally demolish a hotel and then leave and get sued for the damages. Then they'd end up paying it off. I mean, that's what the old time rock and rollers did. These guys, they clean up after themselves. So I'm not going to say it's a good thing. No. I'm not going to say that.
It's like, guys, you got to go vacuum up all this mysterious white powder from the floor. But
okay, and I take it the white powder was not baby talcum powder.
Probably not. Although I don't know. This is a very extensive list. Who can really say?
Yeah, okay.
Right, but they also arranged for travel for victims, the commercial S workers, and Combs to and from the freak offs, resupplying Combs with requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to Combs to pay the C worker or the S workers, and scheduling the delivery of IV fluids. Oh my god. This is actually the IV fluids. Have you heard of that? Like, have you heard of people taking IVs after drinking? This is actually becoming a very popular thing to where people,
really?
Yes, people will get people like nurses to come to their house to give IV fluids. There's actually
Really?
a place about a half hour from here that you can go and get an IV with supplements.
I don't like needles at all. I mean, if I have to have a needle, if I have to, I go to the doctor and they want to give me a shot, I look the other way. But who would want to get that? I mean, why, where?
They are thriving. For $200, you can go get your IV. They'll put the vitamin C. I don't know what they put in it, but there's like a place near here and they have like a little menu and it's like almost like smoothies the way they present it. They got all this fruit and stuff on the menu.
Never heard of that, but I'm not going to mention any names, but I have known some people in the past who actually called themselves professional drunks. They were people that drank and drank and drank and drank themselves in. But I'll never forget one friend of mine, a coworker, a long time ago, would come into work shaking, and he had to have a drink to get himself to stop shaking. And the guy, he called himself a professional drunk because when he drank, he would have a drink here and also water. He says, if you're a professional drunk, you got to keep yourself hydrated.
Oh my god.
So they should learn that, and then they won't need the IV.
Oh, this is like incomprehensible to me because it's like if I have 3 drinks, I am out for the entire night. I am in my pajamas. I am in the bathroom taking off my makeup. I can't anymore. I am not drinking to any point where IV fluid is needed. After 3 drinks, I feel like I need an IV.
No, I don't like the needles. No.
Oh my god. In or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residences in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. It's like, I want that at multiple houses. Law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. So in addition to, he had 1,000 bottles. Who the hell needs 1,000?
That's just the pantry right there. It's like, this is not even like what, like, do we like, this is not the freak-off in process. This is the prepared for the freak offs. It's like you go to your pantry, you have your cereal, you have your oatmeal, you have your 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Who needs that? And I'm not going to ask what it's for. I'm not asking. Use your imagination.
No, I don't even want to think about that. This whole thing makes me want to gag. Oh my god. This is what we do for you guys. You better like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my god, I don't know. This is
anyhow.
Anyhow. I'll put the banner up. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage the freak offs, which is crazy. Combs maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promise of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating victims' appearance and monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. And now, I don't want to, and please, I don't, the comments, a part of me is just like, I don't even know how this video is going to do well, and I'm concerned if the video, if you guys enjoy watching our videos, thank you. But this kind of talks about another element of it, because a lot of people are speculating that celebrities like Justin Bieber and young celebrities or fell victim to this, whether maybe it isn't necessarily the physical violence, but a lot of people, and like people deleting their Twitters and stuff, it's like, oh, like promise of career opportunities. It's like there's a lot of implications that people were either victims or sold their soul to Diddy to be successful, basically, or are basically like indentured services because he's got blackmail on them as a result of this stuff.
I don't see the fun in it. I really don't. I mean, we all like to have fun. We all like to have a good time. We all did stuff when we were younger. But I mean, I don't see how this is a good time. I just, just because you have a lot of money, I mean, oh my God, just go to the pool and sit there with your pretty girlfriends and drink pina coladas until you collapse. I mean, that's my idea of a good time.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's like to sit with your girlfriends and your pina coladas. It's like when you have this much power, I think that's one of the elements why this is so shocking and disturbing, because this is a person that had like power and fame and money. This isn't the person that was going to have a hard time finding women, and this is a person that still chose to take advantage of other people. It's just like you had so many options and you chose to do this for decades. Idiots. Why?
I mean, look at this. I hate to read ahead, but during and separate from freak offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. How is that a good time? I don't see it. I'm sorry.
It's like, well, and it's like that one video where you see with his ex-girlfriend, and
Yeah.
like he like goes and he chases her down. He's acting like an animal. And I guess, you know, a part of me, like, because it has to be the substances at a point to be that brain broken, but at the same time, obviously we have serial killers and all these other people that I don't understand how you get that crazy. But this is like stuff that was so public and so available, and how long has this been going on that we're only finding out about this now? Was crazy.
Well, you know what I mean? Some of these people just have neurological issues. When you drink and do that much drugs, it has a neurological effect on it. It messes up your whole nervous system, and you don't think. You don't think. People say, how could they do this? I mean, I just said that.
Yeah.
But, you know, if your neurological system is messed up and your brain waves are messed up, you don't think you're doing anything wrong. You think you're just riding a high. And it's just, you know,
Yeah.
that he videoed it all, that he videoed these freak offs.
It, you know, and I guess it's really, I guess, a testament, because obviously maybe he was this way before, but at the same time, it's just like, and a lot of these people are peaceful, but sometimes in life you will meet people whose brains are like pretty much fried from drugs, and you can kind of, sorry, D word, you can tell. And it's just the fact that this was, I think the worst case about this is because it's one thing to be dangerous, but it's another thing to be like dangerous and have so much power. Yeah, following further, the assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in the freak off. So, and it's like this goes to the people that he was trafficking as well. It's just like he's selfish. He's a demon. He doesn't care about other people. Victims believe they could not refuse Combs' demands without risking their financial or job security, or without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Combs also used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during the freak-offs as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims. So I did just want to go over that short segment today. Like I said, this is a new topic that we're covering. This is something that it goes very, very deep. And like I've mentioned, there's a lot of different conspiracies on it. And I am curious to see what you guys think down in the comments. Please let us know if you want us to go further into that. But can you believe this, Andrew?
No. And I'm thinking, you know, as a defense attorney, and if he came to me, how would I defend this? I mean, the first thing you do is, you know, those videos are, that's incriminating. That's going to fry his goose. So the first thing you do is you do a motion to suppress, and you make some kind of a lame-brained argument, as we just saw in the Sarah Boone case, where her attorney did a motion to suppress a 2-hour statement in which she contradicted herself and pretty much wrote her own indictment. And that was kind of a lame-brained legal argument, which the judge only took 5 or 6 pages to toss out. The same thing, but you have to do it as a defense attorney. You have a duty to zealously represent your client. So some attorney will come, and he has an attorney already who has said he didn't do any of these things. That's what the attorney is quoted as saying when it's on video. So
it wasn't him.
Lame brain statement number one. Lame brain thing number two is to bring a motion to suppress, which will be argued. You have to do it, but it will be denied, and then it'll go in. It'll go in as evidence. And I was watching another YouTuber who said that P. Diddy is effed, and he is. He is. I don't see a. Disagree with me all you want. Comment down below, but I think he's effed. I don't think he has any defense at all. I mean, they'll come up with something. I mean, maybe some kind of emotional mental disease, but can that really explain all this? If he's doing the planning, you can't say that he didn't intentionally do this stuff, because if he did all the planning to have all the
whole organization dedicated to this
organization, he books the hotel rooms, he stocks them in advance with sheets and cleaning supplies and without baby oil and all the other stuff. So he can't really say that he had diminished capacity, because he did all the planning.
He's like very successful financially and with this.
So he's effed.
Yeah.
He really is.
I don't know, because can you really say that he's effed? Because he's been able to buy his way out of it for so long.
Well, he was paying off the witnesses. I mean, these people that were coming in there, he was threatening their jobs. You know, if you rat me out, I will ruin your career. Here's another $1 million for you. Here's another $1 million for you. Come back again next week and I'll give you another $1 million. So he was buying his way. But once there's an indictment, I mean, how's he? And he's being held now. There was no bail. How is, all right. If any of you who are viewing this have some kind of an idea how he would be able to be defended and whether or not he will be able to wiggle out of it, let me know. Tell me how I'm wrong. People tell me every day how I'm wrong. So have at it.
Yeah. And this is a really, I do want to say, and that this is a scary and serious matter. And we are sitting here and laughing at how incredulous all this is. It's like, this should have never happened. This is not something that we should be talking about, and it's not something that should have been hidden for so long. It doesn't even seem real because of how obscene this is and how these allegations that so many people were supporting this whole system of abuse. And it's very scary, and hopefully nothing as crazy as this comes out, but with the news cycle, it seems it always does.
Yeah, you made a good point that it seems unreal. It seems so bizarre that he could say, "Oh, they're making it all up. It's crazy. How would any human being do this?" But he videoed it. So
the video, yeah. And it's also because and forgive me if I'm mistaken, because we've only seen the hotel video.
Yeah.
Imagine what else is there, and that's just the video that one place took. It's just how many other videos are like that? Not only that, but the videos he took himself. At least it's on video. That's what we can be grateful for. But
will he take a plea? He's facing a lot of time and everything else. So will he take a plea and not even take the thing? Because how is a jury going to respond to this? Come on now.
Oh my God. I will.
Unless you have other freak off people in the jury.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is just what if there's huge Diddy fans? I've never met a huge Diddy fan in my life. So I'm assuming that it's not going to happen, that they're going to happen to be in the jury, but you never know. What if they bribe the jury? You're going to say, I can't. Those are the normal people that could be bribed. I don't know.
I don't know. But so that's all I had to bring to the table today. Andrew, do you have any final thoughts? No, really just that, it's amazing the hubris of a human being that, brings people into this craziness. I can think of some other words, depravity, whatever. It's beyond comprehension that someone would conceptualize all this, bring people into this sort of thing, and then video it and then deny it. And it's beyond belief. This will be an interesting case to follow in terms of what kind of a legal defense will be placed in. It would seem to me that taking a plea is probably the best thing, because I don't think he's going to see the outside of jail for a long, long time.
Yeah, definitely let us know if you guys want to look at the full indictment, if you want us to make further videos on this. This is really just a test to kind of throw things out to you guys and see what you're interested in. As always, comment any other videos and any other cases you want us to take a look at. But I've been seeing this everywhere, and the whole thing is just gross and been blowing my mind. But on all those bad negative notes, let's take a positive note and go to the grocery store.
Whether you are in the grocery store, the gas station, or anywhere else, please remember to be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. And the same goes for our comments section. We want you to comment, but be nice, be kind, be positive if you can. And thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one.
Yeah, we will never be the same. Look.